Hello everyone and welcome back to Titancraft. So, I was here in the Nether earlier today and I caught a little glimpse of something out of the corner of my eye up above the Nether hub, and I couldn't film back then, so I left and let it alone, and I've come back now to take a look with you to see what is going on here on the roof of the Nether, above the Nether hub. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can find the angle that I caught a glimpse of something at. Yeah, so I was coming out of the west tunnel, and I just happened to look up. I think it was just flying around. I noticed this little peak here. You can kind of see it, of a little something up here. A little something. The Nether hub now has its very own cable statue. He did actually just mention to me a few days ago that he would be possibly doing something like this, and he had a few ideas knocking around, but this one is not one I expected. Look at him. He's trying to chop down my beautiful Nether tree. My beautiful cherry tree here in the center of the hub. That is a very Cable-esque axe. It's very cool. And if you've seen Cable's builds, and you'll know what I mean by that. It looks very Cable, and Cable's got a nice, lovely textured beard there. This is great. I love it, and it's a really good landmark actually for the Nether ceiling. Imagine you're just flying along the Nether ceiling here, and off in the distance you just see Cable. It's a good wayfinder. Good wayfinder, that's for sure. Moving on to the main project for today, and by today I mean however many days it ends up taking me, because this is going to be a big project. Look at all this space I have to fill up with interiors. There's going to be, I don't even remember, there's a lot of floors. There's at least this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 6 floors. Maybe 7? There might be 7 floors. I don't know. This building in particular has a lot of floors in it. And it's going to be a lot of interiors. It's going to take a while. It has a lot of redstone, a lot of sorting, a lot of automatic sorting, pipes and things running all throughout it. That's the main idea behind it. Is it's a moving factory, with pipes, working pipes, sending things everywhere, and things moving from place to place. Farms automatically filling up things. Like I said 2 episodes ago when I actually built this place, this main floor here is going to be the redstone assembly part of the factory, where all of the redstone supplies will be made. And so all these chests will have all of the ingredients for all the redstone supplies. And then a couple floors up will have all of the storage for redstone supplies that have already been crafted. And there's going to be a lot of other storage, like guardian storage. We have a lot to do here. We also want to do the interior for the bamboo building, which is right here, which is a little bit simpler because there's not as much space around the actual farm itself. I have a specific set of colors that I'm really interested in working with for this interior, for a lot of these builds that I'm doing here, that I just think go together really nicely. A big part of it is this mix right here of brick, especially brick and granite especially, but mixed in with jungle, and the which one is this again? The exposed copper. So we I'm going to be using a lot of this, plus we're going to have a lot of stone, andesite, and stone bricks, as the floors and walls and stuff. A lot of that. There's going to be a lot of spruce accents, especially these, and spruce trap doors. There's also going to be a lot of jungle trap doors, and a lot of mangrove mixed in as accents as well, along with mangrove trapdoors. Plus, we're going to have some darkness brought in. A lot of the ceilings, I think, are going to be blackstone, and then other accents of deep slate as well. And then along with I think that what looks really nice with the deep slate and all of these colors in general is all of the redstone stuff. Hoppers, observers, all that kind of stuff. Pistons. We're going to have, all these chests, all these kind of different palettes mixed together to hopefully create a nice aesthetic inside of I keep forgetting that I have haste on in here. Whoops. I've done this a lot. I've broken the floor a lot because I keep forgetting there's haste in this place. But yeah, all these colors, this color palette is along with some other things probably here and there, are going to be used to really bring a nice theme throughout this whole thing. And I'm really excited to show you what I've got cooked up, what I've got planned out here. And it's going to take a while. Sit back and relax, and we will take a nice like walkthrough of the entire thing when it's all completed. Well, that was a whole heck of a lot of work, as you might imagine, from everything you just watched. And don't worry, we'll go over everything in here in a minute, and we'll take a full tour of the whole build that we just did, the whole interior build that we just did. But we need to fix this corner here, but the only way that I can do that is by removing this little temporary sorter here, which means I need to go through this entire build and go through all of the sorters that I have set up and get them filtered. To give you an example here, we're going to come up here. Got little ways to get up to everything in this in these interiors in this factory build. There's always a way to get to everything, including the filters. Something in here looks like a skeleton might have died in here. We'll go ahead and just yoink that and say bye-bye to it. We need to come in here and basically filter all of these so that when I input things into the system, they will get sorted. And right now, everything is just going to those chests. Anything that I put inside of like input chests are all going to go there to that corner. And that is not quite what I'm looking for. Something you may notice about these chests is that they're like facing, like they're doing like this, like they're like that, instead of being, you know, coming out like this and being next to each other like that, and just being in a line like that, with each filter kind of only having one slice. In this setup and throughout the entire building, all of the filters are double wide. So I have 2 filters for every single item that I'm sorting here. And there's a few reasons for this. One of the more shallow reasons is because I just like the way it looks better, at least in this scenario. In some scenarios, I like the other way, looks-wise better, but in this scenario, I like this better, where you're doing one here and then back and then forward again and then back again and then forward again and then back, and you know, so on and so forth. I like that because it kind of makes the hoppers look like these like metal shelves that the chests are sitting on. And I really like that a lot. And I just really like this look a lot, and it's really good for holding a lot of stuff. Another one of the main reasons why I'm doing this, why I'm doing 2 filters for every single item that I'm sorting here, is because, let me just show you something here. So there's an item just kind of like sitting in the world. Now all of these sorting systems here are controlled by water streams. So like water streams pushing items all along the tops here and then putting them into the filters. And when you dump items into that water stream, you might see it there, kind of see how it like all clumps up. On the server, we have something that kind of clumps items like this together on the ground more than normal vanilla. So like if I throw something like over here, like that'll be separate, or like over here, that'll be separate. But let me just like throw one in between these two. See how it grabbed both of those? But something happens when you do this. Let's say I have, those sitting on the ground and I'm like spitting these out into the water stream and they're like moving along. And then say we have like half a stack or whatever coming through, gets added. Let's add another like bit here. Let's like do like this, like items spitting out into a water stream, and they're all just like clumping together. Keep on doing that. Items spitting out into a water stream. You see, like they all clump together. So if like a bunch of stacks are going through the water streams all at once, then the filters are only going to pick up like a third of that stack. And so having double filters will make it more likely that more items will get picked up as they're moving along the water streams. And that is just like a thing with this server specifically, and something that I've noticed in my previous builds on the server in my previous seasons and other storage systems where I've had like impulse sorters like this. Items just kind of like go right on by, right past the filter, because there's too many items, they're not getting picked up fast enough, they're clumping a lot together, and there's just too many items going over one single hopper. So having double filters really helps with that. So coming up here to this first row of sorters here, I've got all of this items. I've got all the items on this first floor kind of picked out into the shulker box right here in the correct order. And then all these kelp, I'm going to use these as item filters because, kelp is super easy to come by. I'm in the ocean. There's tons of it everywhere. Filters, put half a stack here. Filters, half a stack. I'm just going to keep on doing this until I have finished filtering out the entire building. I don't think you need to watch me do all that. I'll just go ahead and take care of it all and then give you a nice little tour of everything that's going on here in this place. We are going to start the tour down here through this door, coming into this kind of like lobby stairwell area. There's a little bit of seating here. We come up here. There's a water elevator that goes all the way up for when you want to be quick with it. More seating up here. And then there's, entrances to some of the areas here. So this is this entrance right here, which is like, this is going to be connected to something. It's not just going to be open air. And if we go down, we will see this entrance here, which has like a stairway up here. Just multiple different layered entrances, which I just think add a lot to a build. I really like this like overlook here. Very nice. You can just fall down here. So let's go into the redstone assembly, which we've already kind of looked at. Looked at the chests in here, but I really like how this room turned out. There's a little bit of like an experiment table happening here. And if you look around up here, just to give a little bit of life to the build, there's a minecart going around a track, and you'll see there's a little bit of redstone up there. Whenever it passes by one of these things here, it stamps down on the minecart, which I just think looks really cool. Very nice. And this area, it's for all the raw materials that make up all the redstone components. And if you come back here, this corner is fixed now. And this is going to be like a stairway that leads to something eventually. Right now it just leads down to the ocean. But one of the things that each floor has is storage inputs. Now this floor has a lot of storage inputs because, I'm going to be crafting a lot of components here, putting a lot of things into storage so they can be automatically sorted up into the redstone component storage upstairs, which I'll show you in a bit. There's one over here as well. There's actually a storage input right here in this shulker. This isn't just an input to the redstone component storage, it's an input into the entire building. It'll go through the entire building and get sorted into wherever it needs to be sorted. And if it doesn't get sorted inside of the building, it'll end up in a specific spot, which I'll show you in a bit. Another thing that a lot of the rooms have is a disposal shulker like this, where it'll be like a bright red shulker with, it'll say disposal, items will be destroyed. So anything you put in here, it'll get sent to the disposal floor and be automatically destroyed. The red disposal shulker that I just showed you below ends up here in the incinerator, which, it's not fire, so it's not like an incinerator really, because I don't want to put fire here. I don't want like my base to burn down. So it's actually just like a cactus that things will automatically get dropped into. All of the things that go into those disposal shulkers eventually end up in this pipe coming down here and into that cactus. One thing that's over here is a bunch of working trash containers. And like these like kelp blocks are meant to look like trash bags. Like maybe it's overflowing a little bit. It needs to be, all this stuff needs to be disposed of. But these actually work because there are shulkers here that you can put stuff in. You can almost definitely say that these are just for show, because certainly I don't need 4 disposal things like in one room. But these are mostly just for decoration, and maybe like they've been brought here from other places in the base to be eventually emptied, and then maybe they'll be put back later or something like that. I'm probably going to put these maybe in other places throughout the base. And then back here is like what is actually happening here in this disposal area. There is a whole section here where things are being composted where they can be. So like seeds from like the wheat farm, the villager wheat farm that we have. And so they get automatically dispensed into a water stream here. The bone meal is getting sent into the storage input. And then what's over here is more filters for other things that can't be composted that I do want to get rid of, which is like bamboo. If there's extra bamboo, I can get rid of that. Like there's several places here that bamboo is getting stored. And if, you know, that stuff overflows, I don't want the bamboo just sitting there. So it'll eventually end up coming here and getting disposed of. Cod, you know, the cod gets like filled up pretty quickly. And then they'll have a bunch of empty ones here. These ones are unassigned basically. And so I can assign these to things as I see fit. You know, say I just am getting way too much prismarine shards or whatever, and I can't store them all. I could easily change one of these to filter that out as well and destroy that. And so those get sent into a water stream here that actually goes up, and we can follow this water stream. It goes up here and then comes over here, and then goes directly into the incinerator. And then there's a room in here that is storage overflow. So we'll kind of talk about this a little bit once we walk through the redstone and like the water stream stuff. But this is like kind of like a break room. This is meant to be like an employee hangout area. We got a little bit of a table tennis thing here. This is a mixed item shulker loader, which basically just means once the shulker inside of here is filled up, it will dispense. It doesn't need to be filled up with like entirely full stacks. Like a lot of shulker loaders, if you have a shulker loader, it'll wait until the entire thing is filled up with full stacks of items. And you mostly use that for all of the same item and shulker loading all of the same item into a shulker. But this one, as long as all 27 slots in the shulker get filled up, it'll pop out the shulker, and that'll eventually end up here. You know, we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get to the redstone overview. Let's come out here and then go up to the bulk storage via these stairs. You know, there's a bubble elevator as well, but we'll take the stairs. This is bulk storage. So this is everything that I think I'll be wanting to store in bulk. All the items that make sense to store in bulk in the game. So like stone, cobblestone, anything that's getting sorted here, I can input that into the storage input and it'll get automatically sent here. All the bone meal that's being composted down below will be sent here eventually, like when it fills up. And we'll come back here to the redstone. I want to show you something real quick. These are all shulker loaders, like the kind I was describing. Unlike a mixed item shulker loader, these wait until everything is completely full, until the shulker is completely full of the same item, you know, full stacks, and it'll automatically fill those up and send them to the chest down below. Now what's back here is something I'm really, really happy with. I'm really happy I included. I really wanted this to be a thing. Basically, this is a separate water stream that automatically sends shulkers to refill the shulker loader. So I never have to worry about refilling the shulker loaders with shulkers. They will always automatically be refilled. So if you can look up here, there's shulkers filling up these hoppers. If any of these hoppers suddenly lose a shulker, like say that shulker gets filled up and it gets dispensed into the chest down here, another shulker then gets dispensed on top of there. And so one of these hoppers will no longer have a shulker in it. A shulker will automatically get sent to that hopper. There's only one spot in this entire building that I have to make sure has shulkers in it, so they can be sent down here. So this area has another storage input. We've also got another disposal here. I also include ender chests everywhere. I also have water elevators everywhere to go to different various areas. But we'll go in here now to redstone component storage. This is just another little like decoration area, little experiment table maybe. Using mini blocks here again, which is really nice. Using some decorative pipes here, decorative like mechanical, like weird like wire stuff, and actual functional pipes as well. And then here is the redstone component storage. If you look up here, there's kind of like a machine looking thing up here, which, you know, who knows what it does, but it looks cool. And then so here is the storage for all of the components that I'm going to be selling in my shop, which you just saw in the last episode. And if we come over here, there's a stairway up, but we're going to come through here. There is bathrooms and honey lounge. So this is just a fully decorative area right here. This is not functional at all. It's just like a nice decorative hallway. I had this space here. I didn't know what to do with it, so I made it decorative. So this is like the employee water cooler. And then there are bathrooms in here. And then over here is just like a nice little seating area for employees to relax in or whatever. And then in here, this actually leads to the top of the bamboo building. There's the building we were just in. And this is our stone and cobblestone generator here. Come back through here and we'll look at the honey lounge, which has a nice little like balcony leading to it. And this isn't the only way to get here. So this is storage overflow right here. I didn't point out the stairway before, but here's the mixed item shulker loader. And here's how to get to the honey lounge as well. This is just automatically working now. Basically, back here, I can show you that I'm storing lots and lots and lots of bottles. So anytime a bottle is used, you know, it has plenty of backup. And then it'll go down to the redstone assembly storage, where I can craft it into honey blocks, and then I can input bottles into the storage input, and the bottles use this water stream to automatically refill the bottles. So I never lose bottles. As soon as I craft honey blocks, I put the bottles in the storage input and they get automatically sent back here. So we're back here now to this stairway, and this leads up to the Guardian farm. Everything here, you know, there is the water elevators, but there's also stairs to get to everything. And here is the Guardian farm, all finished up and decorated. I really like how a lot of this stuff ended up turning out. I just put a lot of like cool factory looking stuff, like this machine here, whatever this is doing, this thing here, whatever it's doing, just cool decorative stuff that I thought looked really cool. In here we're storing lots of prismarine stuff, and as you can see my cod is like overflowing, of course. You know, this wall right here, I'm actually thinking about putting a nether portal, because I really wasn't sure like where I would want it to be. So I think this area right here is a nice area for another portal, and it'll be really nice to just come straight out into the Guardian farm. And it's kind of like in the middle. This is like the middle of the building, so this is like kind of like a perfect spot. And then we will come in here to the Guardian craftable storage and bulk plant storage. So here is where I'm storing all of the crafted prismarine items. Got to make a lot of dark prismarine for our shop. Got lots of sea lanterns. I need to transport a lot of this stuff over to our shop. I put a little Guardian up here, just as we did in our shop, kind of like tying the shop and the factory together a little bit, and signifying that this is a Guardian storage area. And then over here is like the plant area, the bulk plant area. I've got this like little research area over here. This is another shulker, like bulk shulker loading area, where I can store bulk bamboo. The bamboo is getting sent to a different spot first. Excess bamboo will eventually be stored here. Excess cactus will eventually be stored here. Right now, bamboo and cactus are being sent to the XP farm upstairs, the XP furnace array. Sugarcane shulkers are being filled up. Wheat shulkers, currently wheat is being sent to the redstone assembly first to make hay bales for target blocks. We have potato shulkers, carrot shulkers. So all of this excess stuff. Wither roses, I have to like input manually, of course, because the wither rose farm is in the end, but this is a nice place to store them. And back here is just like a maintenance area where you can see, you know, this is the shulker refill line. These are the shulker loaders. This is Guardian storage maintenance. This is behind the scenes of the Guardian farm here. We can come up here all the way to get a good look at the pipes up here and the redstone up here for the shulker refill, and for these filters over here. Back over here, you know, we can go up this stairway, and I will do that in a minute, but I want to take a quick detour. One of the only places that you can get to it like through a ladder in the back here, but the actual main way to get here to the shulker storage is up this water elevator here. It's in the top of the white building. We're in like the roof of the white building here. So this is shulker storage. This is, you know, these shulkers are all decorative, but this is basically all shulkers that get inputted into the system get automatically unloaded in a specific area. And then once they're unloaded, they get sent here. And so this is all the shulkers that have been unloaded. And so this is actually a good opportunity to show you how this works. So if I just take a couple of these colored shulkers, I really like dyeing my shulkers when I'm doing a build to like help me differentiate between what shulker is holding what. But once I am done with the project and want to put things back in here, you know, like all of these shulkers are going to be used to refill all of the things that use shulkers in the building. I don't want them to be like a bunch of random colors. I want them to all be one color and to be uniform. So what I'll do is I'll grab these. It's one of the reasons why I didn't just automatically input all shulkers that get put into the storage input into this system here, I have them go here first. So I have to grab them out of here and then move them over here. So I can move this one over here now, and I can move this one over here now because they're already not dyed. But all these dyed ones, I can then bring here to undye in the cauldrons. And then these will automatically get refilled with water because of the dripstone. And then I can put these in here. So now this section here will automatically get dispensed. This is the clock here that controls when to send a shulker. This redstone torch here, if this redstone torch turns on, that means this will turn on and it'll start dispensing shulkers into the water stream to refill the bulk areas down below, the shulker loaders down below. And then when that redstone torch turns off, this thing turns off again and no more shulkers will be released. And I'll show you over here real quick. There's a little balcony. We can watch the sunset here on our little balcony outside of the white building here. And we're gonna go take a look at these top floors of the brick building now. So back here to this stairway, we're gonna go up to the processing floor. Now the processing floor is the only floor in this whole thing that is not really decorated. It is entirely functional. And there's a reason for that. I really, really wanted it to be accessible and easy to see what was going on. I did not just like the trapdoor pipes here. I did these glass pipes so I can see what's happening. What's basically happening here is, here's farm intake. So all the items that are coming through from farms, like the wheat farm, the potato farm, the carrot farm, the sugarcane farm, iron farm, all of that stuff is coming through here. And then one of these other tubes up here at the top here is all of the storage input chests are coming to that tube and coming to the same place basically, which is this machine here. This is a unstackable, stackable, and shulker sorter. Anything that can be stacked goes into this water stream. Anything that can't be stacked goes into this water stream, and those actually both end up going to the same place eventually. The main purpose of this thing is to sort out shulkers, and that means both empty shulkers and not empty shulkers, and go into the shulker unloaders here. And there's 2 of those, and all of the shulker contents will be spat out into this tube and will go down to the storage here, into this hole, which is where all of the farm stuff is currently going. Like you can see here, sugarcane is currently going down here. This is where all items eventually end up going down to storage. And then once the shulker is done being unloaded, and this thing also, if an empty shulker gets sent into this thing, it'll just automatically dispense it into this line here. Empty shulkers will come out this line here and go into shulker storage. And this hole right here goes into that room we were just in that holds shulkers. So this room really processes all the items that get put into all of the storage inputs, all of the farm intake, everything gets processed here. And now the last few floors up here is XP furnaces. And so this is like the redstone that controls the XP furnaces. This right here is to insert, say I do like use my XP furnace array. I know that I have a bunch of shulkers of cactus and bamboo below in my bulk plant storage. I can just go grab those shulkers and insert them here, and they will automatically get put back into, it'll get automatically put back into the XP furnace array up here. So I don't have to wait as long for the farm to fill them up. I can automatically fill them up myself by inputting shulkers of those items. So I did a lot of like machinery kind of like decoration here, pipe decoration here. And then up here I did the same thing and kind of made this a little sitting area over here as well. Maybe like a waiting area, like waiting for these to all fill up. I'm thinking maybe I made too many of these because like they're still not done yet. I'm still waiting for these to like completely be done here. I have used a couple of them, so that's kind of like slowed it down obviously a little bit. But basically, yeah, this light means that they are ready to be used. I can take this out and get XP if I wanted to. And yeah, that is basically the tour from bottom to top of the interior decoration of this whole building here. And I'm really, really loving how it all turned out. Now let's try and do just like a quick walkthrough of what the redstone is doing, what the water streams are doing. Cactus and bamboo are the only farms here that get sent here first. All the other farms go to the processing floor, but once this is entirely filled up with cactus and bamboo, and which it is, it's filled up with bamboo entirely. The bamboo farm produces so much bamboo. This is entirely filled up with bamboo. So once the bamboo and cactus are filled up here, they'll go down to the processing floor. Like everything else, all the farms get sent here, all the storage input gets sent here. So I kind of walked you through how this works. Once things pass through the processing floor, the very first place they go to is actually not here. Processing floor first drops the items all the way down here to the redstone assembly. This is the first place that everything comes down to. And that is because I want, wheat to come here first. I want honey bottles to come here first. I want stone and cobblestone to come here first. I want, bamboo after it's done filling up the XP furnaces upstairs. I want it to come here first so I can use it to make sticks, I can use it to make planks, and I can use it to make chests. I want iron from the iron farm to come here first before it goes anywhere else. And then after it comes through this floor, the next place it goes to, it'll come up here to the redstone component storage. So this pipe here will sort things through, and then that will get sent up here, which will then go into here, this pipe here, and fill up the bulk storage here. And after it goes to the bulk storage, it'll come through this pipe here, which will then go up to the Guardian Farm storage. And then it automatically goes through the plant storage, across the water stream back there. And there's a water stream up here. These jungle trapdoors right here, there's a water stream behind those. It'll come here to the Guardian Crafted storage. And then after it comes here, this is one of the last stops, it'll go down to disposal, which will get sent through this water stream to either be composted or disposed of. And then after that, it'll go out this pipe here. There's actually a pipe going out the window here and into the side over here. And the very last stop inside of this building is the mixed item shulker loader. The mixed item shulker loader is also connected to the shulker refill system here, where it automatically gets refilled with shulkers. I can actually press this button here to release the shulker that's in there currently, and that shulker will get sent into this water stream. That gets sent here. This is hold for main storage, and then there's this, which is input to main storage, and main storage is something we haven't done yet. And actually, this is basically just a way for me to get everything that isn't sorted inside of these buildings here into one spot, so I can take it to the main storage whenever that is eventually built, because our storage is not going to stay inside of our starter base for that much longer. And yeah, that's basically the full gist of what is happening here throughout the entirety of these buildings. And I'm really happy with this whole system. It's exactly how I want it to be. I really want it to be super functional, have tons of stuff going on. I wanted all the pipes to be functional. I wanted everything to really work. I have my shulker monster down here still. It's been, dwindled a little bit because of how much stuff I used to build this, but I still have quite a few random things here. Let me put together a shulker real quick of things to put into the storage input chest, and I can kind of show you it in action a little bit. So taking a look at this chest, there is a lot of stuff in here that is just going to be automatically sorted. Glowstone will go to redstone assembly, sea lanterns will go to Guardian craftables, these two will go into the bulk storage, etc., etc. But there are a few things in here that won't be sorted. There's chains, white dye, red dye, this bundle here, that's an unstackable item, so that'll be nice to see. So these 4 items here, we should end up with these 4 in the mixed item shulker loader at the very end of the chain of redstone. So keep that in mind. So we'll put those back in, we'll grab the shulker, and we'll input it into the system. Let's go ahead and put it in here in this storage chest, and that'll get automatically sent here. We'll see it come up here, go into this, we'll get it sorted here, and then it should get automatically spit out here in a second. There we go. It'll go up here, and then starting to get unloaded. Go ahead and take a look at that. There it is being unloaded, and we can come look at it if we want to. So that'll take a little bit. It'll get unloaded here and get sent down to the storage. Oh, and we can see this thing working here. Something I didn't mention is that this is a 6-time hopper speed shulker loader, so it's very, very fast. It picks up things very, very fast and loads them very, very fast. I think the shulker up above is done, I'm pretty sure. So we can actually come over here and just press this button to release our shulker. And actually, this is a really good opportunity to see the shulker reloader water stream here work. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to press this button, and we're going to see these redstone torches here flip. It's going to pop out a new shulker into the system, and it's going to basically send a signal up requesting for a new shulker to be sent through. And we're going to see it come through here. Let me turn hitboxes on real quick so we can see it come through really easily. This is actually the last stop on the shulker refill line here, so it might take a little bit here for it to show up. I just heard some stuff working in there, so I guess we didn't quite get everything. And there's our shulker. Very nice. And yeah, as we heard, it filled up there, so I think one of the things that we put into the system hadn't quite been unloaded yet from the shulker above. So let me press this again. we'll get another new shulker coming down here. But then this will end up here. We can actually see it come in here. There's our three of our items, so we're missing the bundle. So the bundle will be here. Very nice. That's our whole redstone system and how it works. I'm really pleased with it, as I said, and I think it turned out really, really cool. And the way that it all just works and it all just kind of does its thing just makes me very, very happy. And then one last thing I want to show you is the interior of the bamboo building here. You know, we had this kind of like bamboo machine here. And so we have a fairly simple set of decorations in here where it's mostly just like scaffolding, like walkways kind of thing. Like factory walkways up here where you can kind of come up and take a look at how everything is looking. You can go all the different levels and whatnot throughout here. We've got this like furnace burning here because this is like the fuel. This is the fuel source. So this is, you know, to symbolize that. This is another storage input. I actually need to glowify and whatnot that sign. This is, you know, the same basis, you know, building that we used for our shop as well, as you saw in the last episode. And so the walls are kind of decorated in a similar fashion to that. Now, if we come all the way up here, we can come to this tiny little area that's just above the bamboo farm here. This is the top of the bamboo farm here. We have this little like research lab area, which is, you know, it's just purely decorative. Just a way to like kind of see into the farm, kind of look into the farm if I need to. And then this here, something you may have noticed when I was walking through here, is that there's this little ladder down to the fuel lab from the stone generator again. This is only just the beginning. We have so much more to do still. We have so much more to add. But that is where the end of this video is going to be. I hope you liked it. It's probably kind of a long one, doing that whole tour and everything through this whole place. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one with more Titancraft. Goodbye, everyone.